Yeah, it's been a long process. I've been watching it for a couple of years now. And they lost. I mean, they lost in court with the BTLA.
Don't be mad. First thing in the morning.
They're still trying to pass legislation to change that. And John McDonald is the one who pushed the bill.
I just hate self-serving politicians.
So then, I'm sorry, I only caught part of that, so
They want to make it
Masonic,
so that the selectmen can make the decision to allow or not allow.
It's good quality.
town by
For
town,
tax
local
abatement,
control.
for a tax abatement, if they provide a service to the town of some sort, they want to be able to give them a tax abatement.
Times I can go on my.
Nah, I got this one's good.
I think it should be up to the
Donated
town
a lot.
regardless.
Thank you.
I don't think the Bureau of Tax and Land Management should have anything to say about it, and neither should the state. It should be up to the town. The town's incorporated, right? They should have a say-so. They don't seem to have a say-so about anything anymore. The state is the only one who says anything. Then the state don't say anything because the federal government tells them what to do. They all suck.
Did I steal something?
Tell me how you really feel.
I try to say it. This is all I got left, my voice. That's the only thing I can do is talk, because I can't do anything about any of it.
You got your tax money.
Tax money, what? I pay tax money, I don't get tax money. And if they keep going the way they're going with property values, all these people that are retired aren't gonna have any money left.
I agree with you there.
That is so true.
Good morning, Bob. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
Box.
Let me know if you need
If you're ready, it's 10:02. Quiet on the set.
Call to order the Board of Commissioners of Thursday, October 3rd, 2024. 10:03. Please join me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any other questions? Seeing none? Any public comment?
Yes, Fred Kane from Wolfboro. I want to talk a little bit about agency staff, as I have been for 2 years. Last week, the CFO said, and I'm quoting from your minutes here, does analysts on agency staffing compared to salary budget regularly, about $600,000 over budget to date. Total spent on agency through the end of August is $2,046,000. Last year at the same time, that was $952,000. So you're more than doubled in the last year. We've hired a new administrator over there. I think he seems to be doing a good job, but he's not getting the agency staffing down and the staffing in. When he spoke last week, he stated agencies a huge issue. You can watch the tape. I watched it a couple of times. A huge issue. 15 shifts a day. Said doing creative things with staffing. I still think that this board, the chair of the board, who has been here since the beginning, has not addressed the agency staffing. And something needs to be done. By the rate you're going to be over $3 million, where 2 years ago you were $15,000. If you don't see that as bleeding, hemorrhaging, I think there's a problem here. Thank you very much.
Any other public comment?
I have some. Yeah, that was something. So I'm gonna reiterate what I said last week. I would suggest people write in Fred Kane's name, because he seems to be all over the budget more so than anybody else that I've heard from. Also, I'm not sure how things are going to go in the next month. I'm still not convinced we're going to have an election. I'm a little, I guess, upset. Every time I come in here, I get a little more and more upset at the way all of this political stuff is playing out. So the only thing I got left is to come here and open my mouth, because I can't go out and do anything about any of it. It's just going to keep rolling like a big wheel and roll us all into the ground. So I'm just here to vent, basically. And, all right, so you know, hopefully you guys will come around. I know there's a few issues that you still haven't brought up. Like we talked about. You guys are supposed to have a plan for the illegal immigrants when they come in. We're still going to be into that at some point. And I do remember reading the RSA to you about how it's your responsibility to come up with a plan. So I haven't heard anything yet. So.
Any other public comment? No. Approval of the minutes for September 26th.
I'll make a motion to accept them.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay. Yeah, I don't have the numbers for the accounts.
I did see the manifest numbers for me. Pass over that for a second.
Okay.
They're on my email.
Oops.
Got it. There you go.
Okay, accounts payable for October 2nd, $172,694.17. Payroll for October 4th, $307,911.82.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Go into recess for the Board of Selectmen for Hale's location,
10:08.
10:08.
Packet of stuff here from the finance office for you.
Do we have the minutes for Hale? No?
Yep, those are here too.
Okay. Oh, just going to sign that, okay.
Which one was that?
I don't know, I got two of them, so it doesn't make any difference. Here, let me sign that one.
Okay, I'll vote on those, right? Okay. They're all set?
I don't know how many we got going right now.
I'll sign this one. Like that. So we need a vote to approve.
Seems to be the same thing.
Yes, the same. It was just copies.
Extra copies.
Extra
yeah.
copies.
We have two anyway.
Okay, motion to approve. Hale, so-
Second.
I'll make that, I made the motion.
Oh, you did, okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And then there's 4 checks that need your approval and the signature for Hales? Yeah. And- yeah, me this morning.
Okay, we have check number 2733 for Whitney Consulting for $1,000. Whitney Consulting is the company that assists the assessor, yes. And, okay. And check number 2734 for the town of Bartlett, $2,375. I'm not sure, I don't have anything on that. What is the rest of it?
It's in the packet and under your right hand, it should be, the invoice should be there, I'm not sure.
I'm not used to getting these, I used to getting them from her. Okay.
Yeah, everything's going through the finance office now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I thought it was, okay. Just wanted to make sure. The $2,375 is for elections, because Hales goes to Bartlett now for their elections. And then there's a check for the primary election fees, was for $500, made out to Cheryl Neely, town clerk in Bartlett. And then there was a check to Carroll County for $6,003.54, and that's third quarter salaries.
Motion to accept.
Okay.
Aye.
Second.
Second, I'll second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And then I guess if you could all sign the manifest on the top, and then Chairman McCarthy can sign the checks.
Yep. Ken?
Thank you, because you're on the Hales account.
Just so I know, listen for the treasurer.
Yeah, that's solid. Thank you. Get that fixed for next week, right?
Chuck. It's just the treasurer.
The next thing you have is for Hales, is the MS1, which is the summary inventory evaluation that has to go to the Department of Revenue. It's prepared by the assessor, and it details all the property values in Hales location for tax purposes. You want to look at that? That came from, Bonnie gave me that one, this one, and this one. We also have the school financial report and the annual financial report that goes to the State Department of Education for Hales School District. Okay.
I don't remember who the chair was for the school board. Was it Matthew or Ken?
You guys didn't redo that with the new commissioners, did you?
Well, they kind of just took over the same positions.
So probably Commissioner McGee would be the chair, or you're the, I don't know. I don't want to speak out of, I don't remember.
No, I'm the superintendent.
And the chair, aren't you? Isn't it a double thing?
It's a double thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to wait and sign it after? Maybe approve it and sign it after, just so we can be sure? Or-
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Bring it.
Would you like to look at, would you like to look at this?
Signed in the wrong spot, but that's okay.
It's okay.
I'll look at it after. This one's all set.
Yeah.
You're the school board chairman?
I'm gonna check, I'm not sure, it might be, I'm the superintendent, but I'm not sure about the school board chair. I think that was one of the other commissioners.
And we're
So
down here
we'll wait
for the
and
school
see.
board members.
Yeah.
Certainly get enough titles doing these things for school board member.
School board
For the
member,
superintendent.
and then school board member.
Now, just looking at Comeau kindergarten aid, so.
Yeah, we'll just check it on the
That's
school
going
board.
over his way.
Oh, yep, okay. One more until we find out. I'm pretty sure it was one of the other commissioners is the school board chair. But I don't remember which one.
Madam Chair, how
Yes.
much did they actually receive from the Keno? Does it say on there? Just curious.
They have no I don't think so. Keno, page 4. Oh, nope, I don't think they got anything.
Somewhere I heard they got
Page 4.
$300 or something.
Yeah, it's not much.
Come on, maybe Chuck has.
If you can't find it, that's fine. I just wanted to, just curious.
It has it down here, but it doesn't have an amount that I can find.
That's not one that went across.
All the way to, it's Keno kindergarten aid. There's nothing.
Was another where it said, I may have read, I was reading this number by mistake. Okay.
Yeah, maybe account number. Yeah.
No, thanks for checking.
You're welcome.
Thank you for,
Okay. I'm gonna leave this one. That's the minutes. You signed it, right? I signed it.
just
Oh, no, that's the extra one.
so anyway, thank you. So,
Is there anything else for Hales then?
That's all I have.
Okay, yeah. So,
And Madam Chair, do you mind if we take the agenda a little bit out of order and allow Director DeWitt to go first so he can go out and bale hay?
yep,
read
thank
read
you.
that wrong.
Yeah,
I did a number instead of the,
yeah, I didn't see a,
So he would do 7, 8, and 9.
Do we have an update on the
no
subject?
update, no.
So here we are in October now.
I've called a couple times.
Yep. There's nothing. Yet. I'm dealing with the state, so
That's ridiculous.
I'll
We will
put
go
my
back
son
in-
in charge and
we'll
he'll
go back
contact
into our regular scheduled commissioner meeting.
10:20.
And Will?
Do you have these? We prettied up this a little bit. I sent it to you on your email. It was pretty rough.
Just to let everyone know, I did not get any emails from anybody all weekend, and my phone has to be redone
We
again.
had terrible email issues.
Yep. I didn't know there was a meeting yesterday with the attorneys, and I couldn't get on the first
I
one,
don't remember getting it.
so.
That's
Okay, Will, go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning. Haven't seen you for a while.
Yes, I've been busy out there.
Yep.
So this first one, I believe, is the fire hydrant one that you guys have. We've had the fire hydrants out here, and we want to get those installed. So we want to go out to bid, obviously, for that. We currently have 12 in our system, but when we redo the old Route 28 water line, there was a request to have another one put in by the fire department, and so we'll have 13 when that happens. Basically, just going to be digging out the old ones and taking them out. Shut the water off, take them out, hook on the new ones, backfill them, turn the water back on, and flush them all out, and then have to fix any damages, from digging. Some are just in yards and be fine. Some are close to sidewalks that may have to, be redone a little bit, depending on what it causes. But we have all 12 of the hydrants right now, brand new ones sitting out here in the driveway. So they've already been purchased with ARPA money. This would also be paid for ARPA money. It was something that the engineers were looking at, but along with the installation of the meters, the fire hydrants, I thought was something that we could handle in-house instead of paying the engineers to do all that for us.
How much does a fire hydrant cost, roughly?
Geez, we bought those like 3 years ago, so my memory of it is...
Is that expensive? You have to replace them that often?
No, we don't have to. The main reason we're upgrading them is because we have several different types. As the different things have been added on here at the complex, they've added on different types of hydrants. The majority of the hydrants we had were a US pipe, and there is only one dealer that doesn't even stock the replacement parts. It was taking me like a month and a half to get replacement parts when we have a problem. So that was a big reason we moved forward to this. We have a few that are just not in good working condition. We had one down in the village that I had to turn on this summer, and I actually had to put a 3-foot cheater bar on the pipe wrenches to be able to get it open because it's not operating properly. So they're not something that has to be done often. The ones we have that we purchased are American Darlings, I believe it is, and they're what a lot of the departments all in this area have, from West Ospey up to Conway. The parts are readily available at one of our contractors that we use all the time, and that we purchased them from. So it was kind of an update for the yuckier ones, if you will, that are in the system, but also to have a uniformity and parts availability to repair as needed.
You give the old ones to dog kennels or something like that and use fire hydrants?
You guys can give them whatever.
No, I'm only kidding.
Right.
Yes.
I don't know.
Dogs
Right.
tend to like those.
No. The goal is to send us out to bid, get our bids back, award a bid before the end of the year to lock down the ARPA money, and then probably we would be looking at in the springtime for actually going through and replacing them. Would be the time frame that I'm looking for a goal to do that.
That's fine.
Question?
Any deadline of when the money has to be actually, you need a check? considering budgets and everything else, when they come in next year's when they deliver them, it goes this year?
They're already paid for in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we have to have the contracts, I believe, all locked down before the end of the year for the ARPA funds.
Okay.
When did you get them?
2-3 years ago, I think it was, that we got those.
So we're waiting to do it in conjunction with the new water line? That's why we waited to do it?
Yes, that's part of the reason. Part of the other reason is we had a contractor lined up, but then his schedule got too busy. Since then, the prices of everything have gone up, so we decided, or obviously we want to go out to bid. Before, the commissioners had talked about just because he's already a contractor that we work with, had wanted to just use him, but then his schedule didn't work out, so coming back to bid it out and see how it goes.
Any other questions? Fred?
Yes, what is the warranty on these fire hydrants from the manufacturer?
After you want to-
Yes.
I'm not sure off the top of my head of what the warranty is on them. I don't have that information. It's something I could get the information for, but I
Yeah,
don't
well,
have it
that
off the
may
top.
be something nice to have. I would assume if they've been sitting in the parking lot for 3 years, they could be out of warranty. And I don't know why we would have purchased something and had them sitting in the parking lot for 3 years, and before they're installed, it may even be another year by the time you get them installed. To me, that really doesn't make sense to have them sitting idle and not using. The warranty could have been a year, and we're out of warranty now by a couple of years. Thank you.
Have anything else, Will, besides this?
Nope.
Nope.
There's just this. I think there's another RFP.
Do you want to vote to approve this RFP to go out?
Why did they sit for 3 years?
But like I said, the contractor we had lined up,
Right.
his
He
schedule,
just didn't, he took this long to tell us that
his schedule got busy, and then we changed to, honestly, we changed to go to RFP, and also the meters have kind of been the top priority. We're all done installing the meters now, and have all the auto reads on. We have 2 more larger ones that are going in, and a third of a customer that we haven't been able to make contact with yet. And so,
because this, I assume this person who didn't end up going through what they were supposed to do, they're going to be eliminated from bidding? Well, I guess they can't bid anyway.
yeah, and there was nothing that, it wasn't like he was locked down for an exact time and then he didn't commit to it. It was just, we had lined him up to say, let's do this. It was one of those things we were going to do in the spring, and priorities shifted of what got done for us and from him.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to accept this proposal.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 And congratulations on all the water testing is fine.
Yes.
Would you like to say anything about any of those?
Water testing? Yes. Trying to figure out which ones you're talking about, but everything's been coming in good. We did have our, the state came out and did our inspection.
Yep.
I think that was in August, early September, something like that. And that went good. We had one small deficiency that we got fixed and turned in, so we were clear on that. Everything else has been going good. We've been doing a lot of upgrading with the GSI system. The lead survey that the feds had out, that's due on the 16th. Last week we finished up working with Underwood on that, and we've gone into, minus this one house that I was talking about, we've been into all the houses and have recorded the water lines coming in, which is what the feds needed for that report. So that has come back good. We don't have, knock on wood, everyone we've been in, no lead, no galvanized. It's all been copper or plastic. So that's been moving forward there, taking up a lot of time, getting all the appointments for people. Trying to think else with the water, everything's been going good.
May I ask a question
Okay.
to you actually, or to both you and Chuck? if that charrette and what they wanted to build or what they're proposing could be built, who would have to maintain the fire hydrants? The developer, or, because they're using our land, we would? I'm just curious. Because I never even thought about it till now. If they're gonna put, say, we've talked about this crazy number, 100 houses, whatever, and they were to put that in there, and they put the roads and everything, when it came to doing those, who would be responsible? The county? Or the owners of this? I don't know. There's different things have been floated out there.
I think if they have a water system, my assumption is if they had a water system and they were hooked to our water system, then yes, we would. But if we're not hooked to if they're not hooked to a water system, or our water system in particular, a lot of places in the country have out in the country have those, forgetting the name, but basically a big tank of water sitting there that they siphon out of, and the fire departments keep those filled. I'm forgetting the word of what they're called, but
Cisterns.
Cisterns. Yeah, I would assume that something like that, if they're not on a water system, would be.
They would pay for it though. I know everything's up in the air since, but I'm just
I
curious.
mean, I would assume if they're not associated with our water system, then there's nothing that we pay for, but that's just my assumption. I don't know. I think that's all on you guys and your decisions there too.
Just curious. Ever thought about, those little infrastructure things that, who's responsible for what?
Yeah, I know a lot of towns and planning boards, when they're going to be building houses in certain areas, they require so many cisterns to be put in so many locations and things of that nature. So I don't know if that's what would be happening or not either.
Okay.
Thank you, Will.
Point of information, Madam Chair. There was a report a few months ago about a beryllium level was high. Was that cleared up?
Beryllium, yes. Well, so that particular test was taken right after we had our new pumps put in, and it went, the limit's like 0.05 and we were 0.06. Since then the state has put us on testing that every quarter, and every time we've been in the 0.03, 0.04, so we've been under the limit every time. It was just that one, I think, stirred some stuff up when we put new pumps in the.
Okay. Anything else for us?
The Route 28?
Yeah.
Oh, this is
They have it in
for
their
you too?
packet.
Okay. Bob. Okay.
So the actual bid documents, project manuals, very big. I don't know, it's like 100 and something pages. So I just printed the cover sheet for you to approve whether or not you'd like that to go out to RFP. Underwood's requesting a decision from you. Thank you.
Currently, this is out, DOT is looking at it, and I believe DES as well, to approve the plan. The water main is on, if you're driving down in the village from the circle, it would be on your right-hand side, and then they would have to go under, or across the road basically, to go on the Route Old 28. Currently, when you turn on the Route Old 28, our water line is on the right-hand side, but when they're going to put the new one on the left-hand side, and then everything will get hooked into there. That way they don't have to abandon that while they're doing the job. The thought is, and hope is, the town of Ospey is in charge of Old Route 28 as far as that pavement goes, and they are looking at repaving that next year. So the thought was that they would tear that up, we would put our line in, and then they would be repaving it. So we kind of be working hand in hand with them. So that would be the time frame. Would be next summer. Don't know that that's set in stone with them as far as that goes. I'm sure they have a lot of funding issues and different things on their part, but they're planning. That's been the planning. We've had a couple meetings with them that we'd work together with them on that.
Questions?
No.
Okay. Motion?
Motion to approve.
I'll second it.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 I think that's it. I don't have anything, unless the commissioners have anything else.
Happy about all the road reports, that's good.
Hayfield lease agreement? No, not talking about that.
Is it on here?
It's on it.
It's on there, and I think there's a question that it really has to come from the commissioners, how detailed you wanted the advertisement to be. Originally, we just put together a general if you're interested in leasing out the hay fields for 2025, you know, put in a proposal. And then there was talk about maybe making the actual advertisement more specific with the requirements in the ad. So just trying to figure out how you guys want to handle it. I don't know if you want to talk to that.
I can answer any questions, but
Yeah, I know you have specific things that you want done to the land if it's leased out.
that I would recommend. I mean, that's on you guys' decision, but that would be my recommendations, a list of things. And when I talked with people this last spring when we did it, these were the same recommendations that I said that I would be bringing forth to the commissioners. I said I don't know that they're going to require those, but those would be my recommendations. So and I think what Melissa's asking is if we want to have those in there, or what kind of advertisement that you guys are looking towards.
It's whether we just put it out generally and then people come and meet with Will and he goes over the requirements, or do you want the requirements in the ad? And the requirements that he had
Yeah, it's
provided is that piece of paper right there.
be a pretty big ad. Let me see.
Yeah.
Did we give it how many years? Is it 1 year lease or 4 years lease?
I think we said 3 to 5, but again, that's all on what would you guys like us to, what would you guys like to do, and what would you guys like us to
And
put in?
somewhere, personally, I'd like to see something if the lease ended, they didn't want to keep it, that they have to at least turn it over with all the things being done, the fertilizer, whatever, rather than use it, complete it all, and we take it back, and we got to start putting all this money in, so there's got to be some way around that.
And I put that in though.
Okay.
That my recommendations to you guys would be that we would, let's say we have a 5-year lease, that the very first year we do soil samples, and then and then halfway through they would do another soil sample, and then at the end they would do another soil sample, and they're expected to keep the levels, you know, if they're adding fertilizer and the things that need to be added to the soil. So we would have monitoring checks along the way. That was part of my recommendations as well, because I had the same concern. I wouldn't want them just to, you know, come and take it all, and then, you know, we've spent the last 8-9 years, you know, putting good amount of time and fertilizer into bringing our soils up to the standards that they are. So, like I said, those were just some recommendations that I had off the top of my head, but it's totally up to you guys of what you want to require and what you guys want in the contract. I'm just trying to give some ideas and advice of what I would look at.
That topic came up in the charrette, the presentation they made, and I know one of them they talked about a piece of county land in the middle. I believe it was for county land, a part of the whole project. And later on, kids could go run out and play ball and everything else. And my flags went up for liability and every other darn thing. I could be wrong. And again, it was only a presentation. It wasn't something you signed off on or anything. But I was curious.
You could conceivably put it as put the RFP out as, just go to the county website, the details, if you don't want to print the whole thing out. That would be probably the way to go. And you list everything, this and whatever else you have.
Right.
Or they could pick up a copy in the office if they don't go on the web.
And personally, I would like to be on the same page with all of you of, if people are going to come talk to me, that I'm giving the, you know, whatever it is we want to do, I have something that I'm giving to every single person, so I don't have someone come back and say I didn't receive this information or whatever. So when we get to that point, I would just I'm more than willing and, you know, love to talk to the people about it, but I want to make sure that I have something that's standard across the board, so I'm not accused of saying I left something out to somebody or whatever, and that everybody has apples to apples, basically.
Okay.
I think it's good.
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 Okay.
Is there any-
So I think that was it. So we'll go ahead and advertise it. And,
Yep.
And
I think you should advertise for at least a 3 to 5-year lease, because we don't want to have to go through this every year.
And if they're going to make the investment with the equipment and things,
I would agree. I mean, someone that's.
Yep.
Madam Chair, could I ask a question?
You may.
Just information, I may be wrong. Is there a trust that pays for the fertilizer?
Is there-
Wasn't there a trust that was paying for fertilizer for the fields? At one point, I remember the discussion coming up, and I was wondering if there is, what happens to that if you're leasing it to somebody else?
It was the Walker Trust or Walker Agreement.
So for,
You may.
so
I may be wrong, I just want to find out.
for the county lands here that the county owns, there is no trust. The county, it's in my operating budget every year. The lands that we do up for the Walker family, they pay for the fertilizer for their land, and we apply the fertilizer. So that
Okay,
comes.
so it's not for the county land.
No, they pay for their own, they pay directly to, let's say, example, I go and say, we need 2 tons from Clark's. They actually pay Clark's, and then we put it on the field for them. And then all the fields here comes out of our operating budget.
So is that land used as part of the haying process? That's why you fertilize it, because you get the hay?
Correct. So we get all the hay from it. They pay for the fertilizer. We go
That's
up.
separate from this deal then, right?
What deal is that, sir?
The deal for the hay fields?
Yes, that's
So that
correct.
would be separate,
Correct. That's their choice of what they do with their fields.
but we still get the hay from that field, regardless.
Currently, we do.
But even after this, we would still get the hay from that field.
Well, that would be a decision on the commissioners. I would assume we'd be out of the hay business, and they would be responsible for finding someone to take care of their fields. Or if the commissioners wanted to continue that agreement with the Walker family, then that is what we would do. But that would be on the commissioners and how they want to set up.
So it is part of the hay land transfer, basically, somebody taking over that as well, because right now the county gets the hay for spreading the fertilizer for them. They pay for the fertilizer, we spread it, we get the hay.
Right, but that's not our decision who takes over their land. It's
I
probably,
understand that there's a trust set up to pay for that, is all I'm saying, and if somebody takes it over, somebody's gotta spread the fertilizer to get the hay.
if that's the agreement they want to have with the people.
That's
Correct.
the agreement you have right now.
That's the agreement we have, yes, that we've operated for almost 30 years under, but there's
Right.
nothing says that that's our decisions who goes up there. That's not our land.
I understand it's not your land, I
Right.
understand that. There's a deal made though already, that they buy the fertilizer, you spread the fertilizer, you get the hay.
Correct,
Okay, that's the deal, right?
correct.
So if you're gonna lease out all of the hay land, is that part of it? That's their land? So when that ends, we don't do anything with that anymore, right? Nothing, we don't spread the fertilizer, and we don't get the hay.
Correct. At this point, that would be the commissioner's decision. Right.
Well, it would be up to the trust as well, right?
Madam Chair, could I just say something?
I don't know off the top of my head, so I'm trying to
Right.
find out.
So we can't transfer a lease on the private, a third party.
No, I'm just talking about the deal for the hay though, because the deal for the hay is,
That's our deal at the county.
so
If
that.
somebody,
so
if a
that
third
would-
person comes
So that would
in,
end.
right, they would have to negotiate that separately with the Walker
Okay, I'm
family.
just trying to decipher it in my head,
Sorry.
that would end, that hay deal would end. There would be no more hay coming from that field unless they made a deal with them.
Sorry, I think I just said what Will said.
That's all right,
Thank you, Will.
I think I understand.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Yep, bye-bye. Okay. Bob?
I would be happy to defer to Superintendent King. He's got one ahead of me.
Thank you.
Okay.
Roof right. No, your showers.
Oh, showers.
And then the roof, which I'll stay for too. Morning. Morning. Did we get more than one for the showers?
I don't know.
Well,
Sure.
We've got.
Here it is, sorry. You got one.
Doesn't look
Oh, we
good.
got one? Yeah. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Do the honors?
I will do the honors.
How many how long was this out there? Couple, 3 weeks?
Jeez. 3-4 weeks, I was
Yeah,
gonna
I was
say,
gonna
anyway,
say,
if
yeah.
not longer. I think we put it out, yeah, it's probably maybe 6 weeks. End of August.
Yeah, just-
Oh, I wanted me to, I thought it was just opening the envelope. Oh, thanks a lot. All right,
Wait a
let's,
minute, you just opened the envelope.
I have a thing for per diem, let's get to the bottom line. And I got, well, there's $900 here, and it goes on and on. Per room, what they're gonna do. And, when I go through, it looks more expensive. Holy believe it.
Yeah, it wasn't cheap, I know that.
And let's get to the bottom line. And they do it by different things. All right, it comes out to, ready for this, $49,823.
For how many showers?
It's in there, but I think it's 12, 10 or 12 anyway.
And repairs and items outside the scope of the work would be $95 an hour.
I don't see there being any repairs.
Right. Here's this other one's.
We would probably put a fresh coat of paint on it, because once this thing is sealed in, obviously it's sealed in, so.
So what's the process? What are we paying $49,000 for?
They put a coating for a better, of grit coating on the floor, and then on the walls to prevent any type of mold issue in the future. So that's.
The former residents of those rooms or whatever, do they have any application to this?
And like I said, we've been keeping up on it. I actually just looked the other day. There's some paint that needs to be done, but as far as any soap, scum, mold, mildew, whatever you want to call it, we've been keeping up on all that using a bleach, like CLR product. So.
It does go room for room. And this room for room.
Yeah, because different day rooms have, one has 2, one has 4, this one's in processing, so. This is something that former superintendent felt strongly about. I think we can keep up on it with what we've been doing. It is a lot of money. We're purchasing, or we've purchased a couple anti-slip mats. I haven't decided on which one to go with for the whole facility. We bought a couple, like samples, so to speak, short money. So I think we can prevent the slip and fall by getting good industrial mats and just keeping up on the cleaning. Again, it's not really something that's high on my priority list. I think if we're going to spend money, I have other priorities to spend money on than that, especially when we can keep up with it with attention with our own cleaning. But in the long term, it does prevent liability. So should we lack on our cleanup and cleanliness?
But we didn't budget for this.
No. Nope. And then that's why I said,
So who actually looks at the facility every day in terms of upkeep, maintenance, whatever?
it's up to the shift supervisors, but the captain and I have been rotating, like every other week, every couple weeks to go through ourselves as well. We have a maintenance man, but he's not really looking.
We're doing the budget process now.
Yeah.
So all this kind of thing should be in the budget.
Yep.
I mean, you should go through the facility, and anything needs to be done should be in here.
Agreed.
We shouldn't be doing surprises, really. It's just.
Agreed. And I said this is a process.
And I know
that
you
was-
just got there, so I'm not
Nope.
blaming you, but.
Nope. This is a process that was started previous to me, so this is I agree with you though, for sure.
Is there any kind of warranty on this stuff?
I would assume so, because it's, supposed to be anti-chip, anti-this, anti-that, so I would assume if something were to chip or crack or whatever, that they would warranty it. That's a lot of money to not have a warranty. That'd be another reason. If there was no warranty, why would we do it?
How many are we doing again?
Let me see if I can do it in my head. 1, 2, 3, 7. I think there's 12 total.
Okay, yes, you're doing 12.
Yeah. Probably says in the document somewhere, but.
$14.
14.
At least that's what I have down here.
No, that would be great. I probably
Yeah.
missed it in my head.
And I'm looking, they do have their warranty thing in here, so. The limited warranty covers only the failure of the adhesion.
Oh, so that's really not a good idea either
The
then.
following incidents are practices from damage, it goes on to say chips, scratches, falling objects, but I'm assuming that's not covered.
Right. Failure of adhesive means if they put it on there and it didn't stick, right? That's what
Right.
yeah, so. Kind of furthers my opinion of, I think we'll just keep up on cleaning and buy a couple mats that are not $45,000.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
yep,
Okay.
as long as you can keep up with it.
Yeah, and it's,
Yeah.
again, it's just attention to detail, right? Getting my people and the inmates to,
Is there any maintenance that needs to be done to them to get them up to par?
not beyond just some fresh coat of paint.
Yeah, I think when I did an inspection over there, they were, a while ago, they were pretty,
Yeah, all of our day rooms beside the day room 4, which is our main male unit, have been painted in the last 6 to 8 months completely. So I actually just walked through there the other day and said, I think it's time we put some people to work with some paintbrushes. But other than that, everything is spick and span.
okay.
So,
Okay.
Bill?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
No, I'm busy,
okay.
okay.
all right.
And if you decide you want to go along with that, you have to see about putting in the budget, putting in the capital or something.
I have a meeting with Bonnie next Wednesday, so like I said, I have other priorities that are more need than that, so. Hopefully Bonnie will-
How's it going?
It's going good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, we're getting through some, personnel issues, which are expected, but other than that, it's going great.
Good,
So,
thank you.
welcome.
Okay, Bob?
Assuming we're over on the roof one, I'm gonna stay here for that too.
Yeah.
So,
In your room.
Good morning, Jim.
Like 3 bids, and it was advertised, direct solicited and available, the RFP from August 15th through September 27th. About 6 weeks it was open.
Refresh my memory, this is for what?
The jail and the annex roof.
Oh, no, that's right. That's it right there. You can see those things.
This one is, this one is for the jail only. do the jail roof first? I'm assuming that you have two separate bids. So,
Well, I don't see where they mentioned.
I have two.
yep, I have two. Is this,
I have two, but are they, it seems like a repeat of
this
it.
is,
Says they included two. But do they mention the project? And they show the same picture at the back. Or maybe not. This one shows the
this
jail.
is the jail.
That's what I have here.
Yep, unless they didn't do.
Well, they said that they,
No, this is exactly the same. Yep,
they both have the same picture at the back.
yep.
I'll
Well,
assume
this
that.
is black and white.
Maybe with the same,
Yep,
they don't show two different
yep.
buildings.
Yeah, it just says Department of Corrections.
Yeah. Also included in this package is a bid for roof repairs on the annex. Oh, here it is, separate. Envelope.
Okay.
That helps.
All right, well, let's do the roof first. The
All right.
Jail roof.
I have a proposal from Derry Roofing, 2 Chester Road, Derry, New Hampshire. And they list all the particulars based on the RFP, and it's for material and labor in the amount of $530,000. Payment as follows: a third when stock arrives, a third and half completion, and balance and less 10% due upon completion.
Okay, I have one from Melanson Company in Bow, New Hampshire. And their price, they have it all itemized, but the total price is $682,500.
And make sure I'm doing the right building here, doing the corrections, correct? What's 754? 700? No, yeah, 754,000.
Okay.
And what was the company on that one, Commissioner
I'm
Nelson?
sorry, Viking Roofing
Thank
out
you.
of Hollis.
Okay.
And what was the number, Bill? 700?
754, I think.
$250,000 difference between three of them.
Yeah, well, you'd have to look at all their,
I
this
think
is,
we're gonna have to do a little work on this, yes.
yeah, it'd have to be itemized to see which
Yeah.
bottle, yeah. Okay.
In
The
the
annex?
repairs for the annex, same company, Derry Roofing, Chester Road, Derry, New Hampshire. Roseanne and Dora and Rudy are the owners, and this is for and again, there's a list of particulars. And it's $17,000.
Okay, this one is from Melanson in Bow, New Hampshire, and it is, they've broken it out to hourly. Labor would be $90 per hour, cost plus 20% materials, and $150 per trip to the site. So, strange.
This one is $125 per man hour, port-to-port charges plus 15% for material. And this is from Viking Roofing. And they do not show any grand total because it's done per hour.
Yeah. So we'll turn these over, take these off, and
Clip everything together if you want.
Back in the same,
You don't have to put it in the envelope, just keep the envelope with it. Okay. Here, yeah.
there we go.
Thank you. And I'll get that just to keep it together. Sure. Thanks. And we have one more bid opening.
Good. You're good. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
oh, we got the asbestos back.
It's got an asbestos abatement for the annex, and it was advertised from August 29th through September 27th. The bids were due on the 27th.
You only received one?
Yeah, one bid.
Wasn't that already done? I thought, what did they do?
The asbestos abatement for the remainder.
Oh, I thought some of that was done somewhere in the building. I know this has the floor.
When we tore down the 2 wings, there was asbestos abatement done for those 2 wings.
Yep.
But not for the rest of the building.
The mysterious wings.
I have a proposal from Shalom Environmental Services Incorporated, 15 Union Street, Lawrence, Massachusetts. And this proposal is scope of work, Mountain View Annex Building, 4 tiles and mastic, approximately 9,000 square feet, exterior door window caulking, approximately 14 units, black zinc coating, approximately 24 units, PCB fluorescent light ballast. And then they're saying total of 10 workers and materials for $51,500. And that's Shalom Environmental Services, SHALOM.
Do you remember how much it cost for the other ones? Bob? I know that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I want to say it was somewhere around 35 to 40,000. So,
It didn't go up that much.
10 years later, it's
Yeah, okay.
not that far off. So I'd like a little bit of time to digest all this and
Yep.
come back with a recommendation. That's all we had, right, Melissa?
Yes, yep, that's it. Good. That was enough.
All right. Anything else?
Line item transfers, do you have anything else?
I do not.
Nothing else?
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Bob. You told me something about,
Yep, we got one extra one this morning. I made a copy for each of you.
thank you.
So originally you had approved, earlier in the year you approved line item transfer number 1 and 3. Let's double check. Yep, 1 and 3. And those had to do with reallocating funds for the agency staffing. So now we have a third one for the agency staffing, but rather than do a third one, the CFO is asking that you void 1 and 3, and we just capture it all in number 8.
Okay.
So that's what's happening.
Can you show me where it says used in there?
So this is number 8, and then in your binder there should be the rest of them. I don't think you have 1 and 3 in your binder because these were approved by you back in June and August. But if you want to see these,
No, that's fine.
I don't want to confuse everything. And these haven't been approved by the delegation yet, so if you wanted to just rescind those and
Okay.
put it in 8, should be fine.
So do we need to do a vote on rescinding those?
I would, just for the record. Sure.
Here, let's see. What are the amounts? So I guess first we need to make a motion to rescind line item transfer 1 and 3. 1 is in the amount of $970,000, and 3 is the amount of $540,000. These are the ones that we're voiding.
Oh, I see, just,
Yeah.
so I have the unvoided one.
Yep. Second.
What do we get to?
We need to void these.
Okay, second that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Excuse me.
Aye.
So that's done.
Thank you.
Okay. 8. I guess we'll do that one first,
Okay.
since we just got done with that. So we have request number 2024-08 from the nursing home. Out of account 300.4413.007.000, M&A/LNA. Requested amount is $900,000.
Madam Chair, I'm having trouble hearing you, and I also don't know what transfer number that was. I didn't hear.
8.
8.
The transfer request is for $900,000 out of account at the MNA/LNA. Another, next one is RN/LPN account, $450,000. Next one is out of Social Security, $102,000. Retirement, $175,000. Medicare, $20,000. Medical insurance, $500,000. For a grand total of $2,147,000. And that includes the two that we just voided. This is from him. This amount will cover the cost incurred for agency staff year to date. Agency cost has remained flat since November 2023. This has been the #1 priority for the facility. We have made great strides in reducing the turnover in the nursing department and in the facility in general. Thank you for your consideration.
I'm assuming we've already spent this money, and we're just now covering the expense. Okay.
Motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And Fred, you had a comment?
Yeah, I don't understand what you're doing there, right? Is this being put in one line so we will not know what the agency is spent?
No,
No.
no,
So,
no.
so what were the two votes that you rescinded?
Instead of doing 3 transfers, I think the CFO said, we'll rescind those, we'll put it all on one transfer. But they're all individually stated.
So you want to do one transfer for the year
Yeah.
versus 3 that you've done, is that correct?
Yeah, just to pull it together, make it cleaner, also pulling from more appropriate accounts than just the salary lines, because there are other payroll expenses, we could pull some of that into the agency.
So, and another comment I'd like to make, I assume the CFO said it's been flat since November. It hasn't been flat since November. We're almost doubled, from last year to this year, which I just stated to you. We're over $2 million at the end of September, and last year we were at $952,000. So it hasn't been flat. It's more than doubled for agency. And the administrator stated last week, you can go back and read the tape, that they're doing 15 shifts a day. 15 shifts a day of agency in Mountain View now. So it's definitely not flat. It has not got better. It's got worse. Thank you.
So we just need to sign this, right?
Yes, please.
Can I make a comment?
You may.
Very well. on a regular basis, like every other day or every day, I get a thing from Becker's Health. I guess it's a leftover from when I was on Health and Human Services Oversight Committee, though I didn't get it at that time. And it sends me a little update about what's happening around the country with hospitals all over the place. And it was at nursing homes and all things like that. It's amazing how many people are in the same mind we are. You know, finding people and everything. They go into details, and there's all sorts of topics. A very interesting update on why and deficit. We're all trying to keep the costs down, obviously.
Okay. So, yep, will you sign this one?
Yep.
And this is just your copy.
Department head, over here.
No, over here,
Oh, and the commissioners.
under commissioners, yeah.
Oh, that would be good.
That would be good.
Yeah. Could have been what would they have been, executive committee or something?
Yeah. Do they have a date yet when they're meeting?
October 9th, next Wednesday,
Next Wednesday?
at 2 o'clock. So we had talked about moving our commissioners meeting next week to Wednesday at noon.
Okay.
You might want to have.
Last week we talked about that.
You might want to have the CFO come in next week though and just go over.
Yeah, she always does.
Well, because the agency staff is a number that's part of a much, much bigger number, and it doesn't tell the whole picture here. There's a bunch of other things that impact it. I mean, the agency number is a number, but there are revenue numbers, there are some other things, pro-share numbers.
Yep.
Put her on for next week, yeah?
Okay, so the next one. It is request 2024-04. And this is also from the nursing home. Okay, from account number 300-4413-017, education conferences, they're asking to take out $4,700 and put it in to, I don't understand. What? I don't understand this.
It's a different department's
It's got the same-
education and conference. So the nursing
Okay.
home budget, I'm sorry, I don't have my budget sheet in front of me to
So
tell
put
you.
it- Okay, they want to put, they want to put it into education and conference. $4,700 is the total.
I can pull it up for you. It's there.
I respectfully request a line item transfer in the amount of $4,700. This amount will cover the cost incurred for conferences year to date. We've provided a large educational event for all managers, which resulted in the additional cost. Thank you for your consideration.
Madam Chair, what department was it being taken out of? 44?
Yeah, 1-3.
Okay, so it's being taken out of the education and conference line in the nursing budget
Okay,
and being transferred to 4411?
yep,
That's in the education and conferences in the nursing home administration budget
okay.
to cover a management training. I know that had been earlier this week.
Questions, comments?
No.
Okay, motion?
Motion to approve.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Originals here if you want to
Okay.
sign these in the middle. Thank you.
Good.
Like I would forget.
Yep, in the middle. You would
That's a
forget.
long time.
Okay.
Middle of the middle.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is 2024-05. It's being taken out of account 4419.057, overtime part B,
It's
Occupational therapy.
sorry, it's occupational therapy, yeah.
for amount requested $33,000. Be putting into 4419.056, occupational therapy skilled. Questions, comments?
No, he gives us the
Yeah,
breakdown of the back.
breakdown. Respectfully request a line item transfer from the occupational therapy part B to occupational therapy skilled in the amount of $33,000. This amount will cover the cost incurred for occupational therapy services year to date. This transfer is due to budgeting/coding issue. Thank you for your consideration.
Motion to approve.
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, another request, 2024-06, coming out of account number 4413-041, pharmacy. Request is for $15,000. Going into account number 4413-040, pharmacy skilled.
What is that difference? Pharmacy and pharmacy skills? One for drugs and one for training?
By respect, it's through pharmacy skilled in the amount of $15,000. This amount will cover the cost incurred for pharmacy year to date. This transfer is due to budgeting/coding issue. Thank you for your consideration.
My guess is it's two different line items.
Yeah.
It's just the way that they're spent, or what they're spent out of. Without having Rich here, I would guess that.
Yeah. Okay.
Motion to approve.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. You must have saved them all up for once, right?
Evidently.
And you may have more
Oh, yeah.
next
because-
week on Wednesday before the delegation meeting, just to,
Okay. This is 2024-07, coming out of account number 4415-023, consultants, asking for $4,500, going into account number 4415-024, physician services. I respectfully request line item transfer from consultants to physician services in the amount of $4,500. This amount will cover the cost incurred for physician services year to date. Transfer is due to budgeting/coding issue. Thank you for your consideration.
Make a motion to accept.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's the last one, right?
yes, yep.
for this week.
Thank you for that.
Approval of the 2025 holiday schedule.
So I brought that forward last week. The commissioners asked that I speak to the department heads, so I had an opportunity to talk to all of them. And the consensus was, yes, they'd love to see it added to the schedule for the non-union employees. And obviously the departments that have to operate no matter what day it is, for example, DPW, if it snows, they'll work around and
Get another day.
they'll just take another day.
yeah.
They'll figure it out. So that was the consensus. I did speak to all department heads.
I know that the registry had a little bit of a problem. They wanted to stay open, or she thought they should be open. And she has to have 2 in there to be open, but.
And she mentioned that perhaps the new register could use it as a floating holiday. So same thing. If 2 people are in the office, they could take a different day.
Okay.
How many of these are we, is this a normal number of things that happen, for the, adding extra floater days? How much is, not floater days, vacation days. Is this normal or?
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry, I spoke too fast. Normally, there's 13 non-union holidays, so this is asking to add 1 the day after Christmas next year, just for 2025. Every year, this gets approved by the commissioners once the court schedule comes out for holidays.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's on a year-by-year basis.
Can I ask you a question about that?
Yes.
Just a civil question. What about the people that have to work on the holidays? Do they get that next day?
Oh, I'm sorry if you couldn't hear because I was talking this way, but they would use it as a floater. For example, like DPW, if it snows, they would just take a different day.
They'll just take a different day?
Yeah.
Because I know it's mandatory, like every other holiday they have to work it.
Yeah. I've got to keep it running 24/7, 365, right?
I'm just wondering how that works, that if it's the next day. I mean, you get that day, but then you also get the next day, how that would work, if those other people have to come back to work, and the ones that had to work on that day should get the day off. I mean, I'm not sure how that.
When's the leap year run into this? Anybody know when the leap year is?
I thought it was last year.
I think it was it 2024? Or?
I thought it was it this year?
Oh, yes, it's always in a presidential year.
Yeah, I thought it was this year.
Yep, it's 24, 28, 32.
Okay.
Yep.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Great, thank you.
That's it, right?
The only other thing I had for you is a non-public under L.
Okay.
Oh, I took your cheat sheet to figure it out. I was trying to figure it out. Thank you.
Yes, and
Bonnie's coming over.
yeah, she wanted to know
Oh,
whether.
Making a motion to go into non-public session. Consideration of legal advice provided by legal counsel, either in writing or orally, to one or more members of the public body, even where legal counsel is not present.
Second.
All those in favor? Yeah.
Question before we vote?
Yeah. Roll call vote?
Question before we
Oh,
vote?
yes, go ahead.
Consideration provided by legal counsel to one or more members of the public body, so would that include
Yep, us.
over the public body, just what we were making a motion that would automatically include us. Okay. Make a motion to go into the non-public session as stated under L.
Roll call vote?
Nelson, yes? McGee?
Yes.
And McCarthy?
Yes.
11:27.
And I don't think we have any other business after this.
I don't have anything else, I don't know.
You say no public, I didn't mean no public.
No,
And
I know, it's strange. Okay.
Are you going to retire into the secret room?
Into the secret.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna ask the same question. We have to move.
No, I'm not gonna kick you out, huh?
You can wait till it's snowing or raining and
Yes.
do it.
Only gonna kick you out on the miserable days. Yep.
You're now being streamed internationally on my X account. So there's somebody over in Scotland, somebody in Ohio, somebody in Colorado watching you. And they asked me, why do they leave the room? How can they vote to leave the room? So I had to explain the whole non-public process.
so how many fans do we have in that?
Well, right now there's like 987 people.
Oh, whoever you are.
Do they know you? And I'm trying to get individuals that are in very unsavory places, watching how the United States government actually functions.
Well, you want to call that.
We don't leave here and worry about getting killed.
Well, not yet.
Anyway.
Well,
Not yet,
no,
anyway.
don't say that.
Okay.
Say that.
They are pretty loud though.
Okay, 11:28.
Oh, that's good.
They're not around anymore. They're all getting old. And, yeah, we're all getting old.
Yeah, well, plus they can't afford it anymore, just to do it for free.
No.
Okay, quiet on the set. It's 12:14.
Motion to come out of non-public and seal the minutes?
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Need a roll call? No.
No. So
All right.
we are going to go into recess until I'll call the chair for the next meeting.
Recess, 12:14.
Physically, we want to end it and stuff, and we don't have to- or recess.
No, I don't know.
I know.
So you're saying Monday we've taken care of.
Recess or adjourn?
I'm looking
He
at
said recess.
Recess.
Yeah, they recess right before like a delegation meeting, so if they have to meet again for
Yeah,
some
they're
reason.
gonna meet on
Thursday
Wednesday,
is okay.
at noontime,
Friday's okay.
before the delegation meeting at 2.
Okay,
So they'll recess
Sure.
until the next meeting.
okay.
That's
In
just
case
so in
there's
case
any
they
other
have to,
business in
if they have to
between now and
repost
Wednesday that
anything.
they.
Okay,
They can do that without reportable.
I got you, let's stop.
But they usually repost it.
All right, I got it.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't make sense to me either, but
Okay.
I am figuring it out. It's only taken me a few years to get this. You know, I've been
Okay.
following it for a while now.
Say goodbye to Scotland.
Goodbye, Scott. Hopefully you guys get your shit together over there.